Next, there's a few things you need to check periodically to make sure you're coming along good with your social media. If nothing is measured, nothing gets improved. So you always want to be checking to see where things are at. So first of all, when you check your texting numbers, you're going to go to doubleyourbusiness.org/text. When you go there, you can scroll down a little bit, and it says click login to your right to get started, so you can click login. And what you're going to put in here is your username that is provided to you, and then your password, which is also provided to you. And when you see this here, you're going to go to all SMS messages. Here's the text message. I just switched the screen to a different account because I want to show you something here. When you're here, you can see right here how many text mobile numbers are on your list. This one shows 531. So what you need to do is just kind of look at this maybe once a week and see if it's growing. If you've got 10 this week and 15 the next week, that is not a very good growth rate unless you've only got 2 or 3 customers coming in for the week. Just keep tabs on it, write it down so you can see where it's at. And if you see that this isn't growing, the problem is people aren't coming in with mobile phones, which is pretty unlikely, or the offer isn't good enough. So maybe you should offer 15% off the in-store purchases instead of 10%, or increase it even more. Or the employees, the cashiers, etc., are not saying, hey, why don't you text in and get 10% off your order right now, which is what they should be doing. So if this number isn't growing, those are one of the 3 reasons why. It could be 2 of the 3. But always check this to make sure that that is doing what it's supposed to do. The next thing you want to look at is go to your Facebook fan page for your store and see if customers are trying to communicate with you, and if so, you need to answer them. So let's say a customer writes on there, hey, do you guys have a certain kind of paint that you could paint over a glossy surface? And of course you could answer, well, you can use like a bin primer sealer and then paint over that, for instance. So your customers at times will go on Facebook to ask questions or complain or whatever. If they do complain, know how to handle that first before you answer it. Be sure to talk with your boss and know what he wants you to say. For instance, if somebody says, hey, you guys overcharged me on something, I ain't never coming back. Let's say that was said. You don't want to write on Facebook, oh, we're so sorry, come in here and we'll give you, of course, your money back and a $50 coupon for free just for trusting us. Well, you don't want to say that kind of thing in there, because that opens it up for a lot of scammers to say, hey, you guys screwed me and I want my money back or whatever, and then they start playing the game. Probably what your boss is going to want to do is for you to be private, to say something like, hey, Mr. Smith, we apologize for this. We want to fix this as soon as we can. Please give me a call. My name is such and such, and I can be reached at this number. And then resolve it outside of Facebook. You don't want that written out there. What you want written on Facebook is good stuff as much as possible. But just look and see if people are posting on there, and if they need answered. You need to do this twice a day. Once in the morning, like mid-morning, and once in the afternoon. You need to do this every day, Monday through Friday, probably Monday through Saturday if you're working 5 days a week. for the other sites, as far as Yelp, Foursquare, and Google Places, you really only need to look at that about once a week, or maybe just twice a week, because it doesn't take much to go on there, and people aren't going to use those as much as they do use Facebook. But like if you go to Yelp, and let's say we typed in, I'm going to type in a restaurant here, and let's go to Joseph's Fine Dining. Now this says 11 reviews for Joseph's Fine Dining. Whenever you see a review, you want to read it and you want to see what it says, because you're going to want to answer this. You're going to, because right here where it says add owner comment, you can answer these. So if somebody writes something on here that's pretty negative or somewhat negative, you need to answer that. And again, be sure to get with your boss and see how he or she wants that done. And again, I want to remind you, keep it as private as you can. You don't want to say on a public site like this, hey, we'll give you a $50 gift certificate, sorry we screwed you over, you know. So just be sure they know how you're answering it. Same goes for Google Places and Foursquare. Let's go look at Foursquare. I'm going to choose this dining room at the Broadmoor here in Colorado Springs. There's 2 tips left there. Let's see what they say. Okay, this is the place for breakfast. Nowhere else in the properties is good. Amazing Sunday brunch staff would recommend for special occasion. Okay, these are good. So you want to make sure that what's been said is good. If it's not, be sure to answer it and get a hold of people and correct it. And again, for Foursquare, Google Places, and Yelp, you only need to check those once a week, maybe twice a week at most. For Facebook, that needs to be checked twice a day, once in the morning, once in the late afternoon.